Hi guys! Welcome sa Asip9. In this video ay magsisimula tayo ng panibagong series. Yung series na ito ay on conditional statements. Now in real life, madalas may naririnig kayo ng mga ganitong klase ng statement, no? If you pass the board exam, then I will buy you a new phone. So for example, isang tatay ito, isang nanay na gusto niyang bigyan ng reward yung anak niya pag nakapasa sa board exam. Now notice na yung ganitong klase ng statement ay meron siyang if, tsaka meron siyang then, no? Yung ganyang klase ng statement na yan, na if-then, can be broken down into two statements. You pass the board exam, tsaka I will buy you a new phone. Now, pag ginawa nating P ito, yung statement na ito, at ito ay Q, yung I will buy you a new phone, then we have a statement of the form, if P then Q. Statement na to. At ang tawag natin sa statement na yan ay conditional statement. If P then Q can also be written in symbol as ganyan, no? Yung symbol niya, P implies Q. P implies Q. Ang basa dyan. Yung P, which is you pass the board exam, ang tawag natin sa statement na yan na after ng if ay antecedent, or tinatawag rin natin siya na hypothesis. Yung Q, which is yung I will buy you a new phone, ang tawag natin sa kanya ay consequent. O sa ibang libro, tinatawag din siya na conclusion. So, tawag sa kanila, hypothesis conclusion o kaya antecedent consequent. Alright, sana maliwanag yung ibig sabihin ng conditional statement. So, pag may statement ka na may form na if P then Q, ang tawag sa kanya ay conditional statement. There are many ways to say if P then Q, no? Minsan, Q if P, o kaya Q whenever P, Q provided that P, P only if Q, whenever P, then also Q. And yung naka-green, no? Hindi masyadong familiar yan, pero pagdating nyo ng higher mathematics, ay magiging familiar sa inyo yung words na necessary tsaka sufficient conditions. So, hindi ko masyadong i-discuss yan dito kasi hindi naman natin kailangan. But note that if you go to higher mathematics, lalo na kung may proving, dyan ituturo sa inyo yung necessary tsaka sufficient conditions. Okay, so exercise tayo. Identify the antecedent and the consequent. Again, wag natin kalimutan na pag sinabi natin antecedent, pwede rin natin siyang tawagin na hypothesis. And pag consequent, pwede rin natin siya tawagin na conclusion. So, depende yan sa book na gamit ninyo. Yung iba, hypothesis, conclusion yung ginagamit. So, since may kulay, underline na lang natin yung antecedent or hypothesis na red, saka yung conclusion or consequent, underline natin na blue. Sa first bullet, alin ang antecedent dyan? Yung antecedent is a statement after ng if. So, you live in Manila. Yung consequent is the statement after then. So, yung consequent dito is you live in the Philippines. Pangalawa, if you get a high grade, then you will be happy. So, you get a high grade, yun yung ating hypothesis or antecedent. Third, if a number is divisible by 6, then it is divisible by 3. So, ito yung ating antecedent at ito yung ating consequent or conclusion. Okay, so malinaw, no? Again, the statement after the if is the antecedent and the statement after the then is the consequent. Okay, so exercise 2, convert the following to conditional statement. If it is a bicycle, then it has 2 wheels. So if and then siya. Susunod, if 2 planes intersect, then they intersect at a line. O kaya pwede rin, if 2 planes intersect, then their intersection is a line. Pareho lang yung meaning, no? As long as hindi nababago yung meaning, walang problema. Kahit iba yung words na gagamitin. Susunod, if it is a square, then it is a rectangle. Okay? So, sana tama yung sagot nyo, no? Kung nag-pause man kayo at sumagot kanina. Okay, that's it. In the next video, we will have more examples about if-then statements. So gusto ko kayong invite sa ating channel, mag-subscribe kayo and bring your friends. And marami pa tayong pag-aaralan about if-then statements. See you!